Hey everybody, what's up? Now you might be a little surprised and scared to see me doing another Elder Scrolls video, and that's because I was giving it some thought and I still really like this game. I still want to do content for it and make videos for you guys and cover all the stuff that's going to happen to it, multiple patches and expansions and everything, and I guess I just needed a small break away from it. And now that I've gotten that break, you know, I'm back at it, and I'm going to give the game the time it deserves, and I'm going to find the time. I don't care what I got to do. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to stream this game a lot on YouTube Gaming now that that's out. I know I've been doing Rocket League in the meantime, but I really want to try streaming this with you guys. I think it'd be a lot of fun. We can do PvP together and stuff. I think that'd be a blast. So let's dive into whatever this video is. And what this video is a comparison between the PC version of the game and the console versions of the game, and I want to cover what exactly the differences are so that you guys can make the proper buying purchase. I mean, both versions, I'll just say right off the bat, both versions are fine. You're not going to get like a gimped version if you decide to choose one or the other. I just want to give you guys a little bit more knowledge on what makes either one good. So what makes the PC version good? Well, the PC version has a wealth of visual options that allow you to tailor the game to any PC that you have. Performance-wise, you can play it as high as, you know, hundreds of frames per second, depending on your rig. Of course, that would be, you'd have to have one insane rig, computer to do that. But for the most part, you could be running this game at 60 plus frames per second, which is really nice considering on the consoles that the frame rate can often dip to below 30 frames per second, and then it's capped at 30 frames per second. That aside, you also have some controller options to work with. I mean, you don't have to play with just a controller. You can do a mouse and keyboard, which I know for like hotkeys and whatnot can be really good. A lot of people prefer the mouse and keyboard when it comes to games like this where you have to manually aim, and while you don't have to be super accurate in your shots or with aiming, it does help for certain things in regards to accuracy, like when you're aiming ballistas or trebuchets or spells of that manner. But say you want to use a controller, well, you have a couple of options. You can use the PlayStation 4 controller if you have the right driver settings. You can use Xbox 360 or Xbox One controller. And on top of that, once the expansion hits, eventually they're going to come out with this thing that allows you to plug in the, either an Xbox controller or maybe a PlayStation controller, and the UI and the camera angle will all change to match that of the console version. So all you have to do is literally you plug in a controller, boom, the UI changes to the console version, the camera angle changes to the UI version, and then if you want the other, mouse and keyboard style, computer style back, you just unplug the controller and bam, the UI changes back and the everything else changes back. So that's really cool, and it allows you to have some diversity in the way you play the Elder Scrolls Online. A couple of other benefits include being able to mod the Elder Scrolls Online. And no, you can't mod yourself to become like a god or anything, but you can mod the user interface with a bunch of additional things. For example, you can give yourself a mini-map, so you don't have to always open the map, and the mini-map is customizable. If you want to see damage numbers for when you're doing PvP or PvE to tell how much you're healing, how much damage you're dealing out, and how much damage you're taking in, you can do that as well. All of those detailed stats are there and completely just give you the ability to really maximize your character in a way that you can't quite do on consoles. I mean, you can maximize a character on consoles and do really well. It's just easier on PC when you have these user interface modifications. And there are also some mods that allow you to see where every lore book is on the map, that allow you to see where every sky shard is on every map. Things like that are just super cool. So if you're a fan of things like that, then yeah, PC version might be for you. The PC version also gives you the ability to buy the game initially on the cheap, whereas on console, aside from occasional sales, most of the time you'll be stuck with paying full price, 60 bucks. But on PC, there's always Steam sales, there's Green Man Gaming, there's a variety of places where you could just like pick up a key for cheap, like G2A.com. I mean, that site's kind of sketchy, but still, for the most part, you can get some games there, including Elder Scrolls, for like, 30, 40 bucks. You can save a lot of money on PC gaming. And the last benefit that I will mention is that on PC for the Elder Scrolls Online, you get faster patches and you get the expansions and game content out faster. So for example, right now, PC players are already playing the expansion and diving in and learning everything about it, whereas console players don't get it until the 15th and 16th for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 respectively. So for me, that means that I can't make expansion videos until the 16th of September, when everybody else is already reviewing it and doing all this and that, but you can guarantee I'll be one of the first to get a video out. But that said, if you want the patches immediately and if you want the content immediately, then the PC might be the option for you. Just make sure you have a rig, a PC gaming machine that is powerful enough to run the game at decent settings on at least 30 FPS, or you're just going to lose out on some of that quality that the console could give you on the cheap. And that segues into the console benefits quite nicely, because on the consoles, you can get basically the entire experience that the PC version could give you, at least PC vanilla, PC default, on the consoles for less than $500. I mean, you can get a game that looks really good and that runs decently at 30 frames per second locked. Sometimes it dips below 30 frames per second, but it's not a deal breaker. I haven't experienced any deal breaking in any way, and they're always optimizing the game for console, which is really nice. Another benefit, and this one is a bit more subjective, it's a bit more based on preference, but if you like the way the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion and the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim played on console, then you'll like how the Elder Scrolls Online plays on console. It plays really, really well with a controller. You don't have to mess around with hitting a bunch of different buttons all the time to activate different skills. It's very intuitive, very easy to switch skills and combo and do everything you need to do to become a really good player. In fact, if crossplay was enabled between PC and console, I guarantee that console players would be able to put up one hell of a fight against PC players, even though, sure, the game doesn't run as fast and they don't have a fancy mouse and keyboard, it's still very competent. Another cool thing about the console version of this fantastic game is voice chat is built in and it's seamless and integrated really well, except for a couple of instances where you'll go into a town and you have area chat open and then you hear everybody talking and some people's mics will be crappy, or you'll hear a bunch of kids screaming or playing stupid music. That's not generally happening all the time. Like for me, I always stick with guild chat or party chat or group chat, but it just the way the game meshes with Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network is very intuitive, and you can play with your friends and talk with them super easily, no hassle at all. You don't have to use third-party things like Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or any of that to get the job done. You can, and I know on PC it also supports in-game voice chat, but for consoles it works really well too. Now, I'm not 100% sure about this next one, but given how well the game was received on consoles, I would guess that another benefit of being a console player would be you would be part of a larger player base. Now, I know PC player base has been kind of waning over the years, or over the past year, I should say. And while it has grown a little bit because of the re-release of the game, I feel on consoles, because of the lack of competition, that the numbers are substantially higher. Maybe not like doubled or anything, but I feel like the player base on consoles is just possibly just bigger. Now, I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments below. And that's not to say the PC player base isn't healthy in any way. No, I'd say both player bases are perfectly healthy. And of course, you always have the benefit of being able to play a game like this on the couch, on a big TV, and that's not to say you can't do that on a PC, it's just a tiny bit more complicated, and the console was always meant to be for the couch user, for the big TV user. But I mean, personally for me, I play the console version on a small monitor on a game that I used to use for PC gaming. I'm sorry, on a chair that I used to use for PC gaming. So, you know, but, you know, I'm just saying that is one of the benefits, but is also subjective in a way. A lot of the benefits for both sides really come down to your subjective choice, like which one appeals to you more. When it comes to, you know, objectively what is better than the other, I would say the PC version is better, only because you get the updates faster and the content faster, it runs smoother, it looks a little bit better, you know, a little bit longer draw distances, shadows, textures, all of that are a bit better, and you know, you just have more choice for how you control the game, either controller or mouse and keyboard, and it'll give you eventually, you know, everything experience-wise that the console has and the PC has, just by plugging in a controller. So I think that's pretty darn cool. Plus, it's cheaper. Again, so all in all, I'd still say both are great. Whichever you decide to get or play, you know, mad respect towards either version of the game. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet for more Elder Scrolls content and roguelike Let's Plays, please hit that subscribe button down below. I'm going to hop back in game, and I will see you folks next time. Also, don't forget I will be streaming the Elder Scrolls Online and other games here and there on YouTube Gaming. Make sure to check me out when I do. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do PvP together and all this other stuff. And I will see you guys at the launch of the expansion for the PlayStation 4 day 1. See you guys there.